And so now it'll be a wild goose chase down to the bottom. It's all about who can hit the crucial shots. Swilliam's got the HP advantage. And with just 4 attempts with this striker pump shotgun, Floki's got to be clinical. Oh.
No way.
Oh.
Not like this. And this is the cost of that fight.
That is not how you want things to end in your final game. They are high up in the standings, but it's going to be about whether or not it can hold. And that was worst case scenario for Floki and Clement. That is rough. That is real rough. They're now going to be sitting around waiting this whole game to see whether or not they'll be able to hold on to that spot.
I mean, 110 yesterday was that final spot. It did jump up by about 20 points in that final game, especially with, you know, one of the teams in the lead probably winning too. So I don't think it's looking good at all for Floki and Clement right now. If you look at history of semifinals so far this season, in terms of the teams that were also in the lead, Levin, Refsguard, Osman fight, interruptions possibly. Not sure if Scram is still left. We'll see in the replays momentarily. Here we go.
Dang. So this was Till at Greasy Grove, taking Nipsey out. Let's take a look at the cavern. It's been a hub for so much action today. And Slovian sick. Wowza. Bang, and the dirt is gone. Sindre and Lotix, who were the ones fighting Scram and Refsguard. And this is how this one ended. 5 HP. Wow. A lot of action off spawn. You would have thought maybe teams would try to be a bit more conservative, holding on to their last life. But they went all in.
I guarantee you the majority of teams were struggling getting damage overall. Once again, it's late to mention it, but for Storm Surge, you got to deal damage for 2 passive. That's when the server starts to punish you and just lightning strike you over and over again until you get past a certain type of damage threshold the lobby's setting. For a bunch of these teams off spawn, yeah, they're making it off. They might be splitting the drop, but unfortunately, because of that, they're not fighting. They're not dealing that damage level. In this last game, they tried to switch that up, but, you know, 4 games with no fights into just, you know, jumping into that cold water, it's sometimes of a shock. You're like, oh, wait, did I forget how to place my wall? Or my shots, why are they not hitting? I'm here in the semifinals. It's tough, man, to get back in that groove.
Yeah, and Jura and Flores, they've had no groove today. It's fair to say that. It has been a tough time at Covert. They've not been able to translate. It's tough, man. A couple of duos have had the same experience where they saw teams qualify for a POI. They thought, all right, they're gone. It's easy, right? Just do what they did and we win, right? Surely. It's never been easier. But these guys have been forced away, and you can see they're different now, right? Using that ventilation to get out of dodge. But it's not as easy as just walking into a POI where a team's been successful and then just winning, right? There's more to it than that, and Jura and Flores have been the perfect example.
If that's the case, everyone will be great, right?
Yep.
If that's the case, I could be a rapper, just say the same words.
You are a rapper.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But not multi-platinum yet, so lots of work to do. Just like Bubak, Karma, you know, they're close. 98, spitting bars, but once again, 110, 120-ish for that rock. And actually, if we're doing the hard stats, you don't need to have the Shio facts, you can have the real ones instead. 114 is what you need. So Bubak and Karma, very, very close. Question is though, how did they get to that same spot as the last game? If I'm looking at their history so far in games today.
Ooh, little piece control. Ooh, rougher. Slow down, buddy. You gotta hit the max damage after you hit the piece. Crazy. He's going crazy. Gets the knock. 2v1. Doesn't even want to waste any ammo. Conservative. All right then.
Coolest pickaxe I've ever seen, by the way. Sorry for not competitive take at all, but hold, that's like,
yeah, man.
cracked.
It's clean.
I gotta visit the shop after this.
What's your favorite pickaxe in the game? Not that one now.
That one.
No, you can't pick that one. You can't pick that one.
There's this like wizarding staff. I don't know the official name for it, but it has like gems floating around in it. It's like very, very old school.
Yeah.
Definitely my wave.
Well, my one is the FNCS pickaxe.
Okay, man. Okay. You held that one before? You had it in your inventory? Ever?
No, yeah,
Have
man.
you used it, Levin?
One day.
One day.
I promise you. One day I'm gonna get it.
Take a
Day. Oh gosh.
Listen, you do that, man, and I don't even know. I'll get one to you in real life.
Well, look, Zeke is Fortnite, right? So if I just ask Zeke, surely you can hook me up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has to be the way. Shakespeare once said that, you know, Zeke can make it happen. So that man was never wrong. He had many plays if you weren't aware of as well. So definitely a wave. Look at William right now. This is desperation. Before it seemed like, you know, a little bit of organized chaos, like they're definitely fighting. But if my eyes don't deceive me, the zone is actually away from Chonker Speedway, Levin. They're fighting inside the storm in the final game.
In the words of the great Aristotle, storm fight bad, fight quick, leave fast.
Man, we are really on our history lessons today, aren't we? It's getting crazy with it.
Disclaimer, Aristotle may or may not have actually said that.
Bigger disclaimer, I don't think I have any idea what I'm talking about at all when I mention any of these things. So just take it with a really big grain of salt.
A massive grain of salt.
That's one big rock
Boulder.
salt thing.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Chico and Trulex, Reese was talking about these guys. They've been able to sort of toe the line. They're sitting in 6th, which is literally the cutoff. So we'll be watching these guys very closely throughout this game to see whether or not they can hold on. If the game was to end now, if Zeke, Mr. Fortnite himself, was to end the lobby right now, these guys would be qualified to the finals. But as it stands,
He's not doing that. Yeah, he's not ending the lobby.
Yeah. Just to clarify for everybody watching, he's not doing that. Yeah, cool.
Was going to press the button, and then he just said, no, I'm not doing it.
Yep.
And I respect that. I mean, right now, looking at the amount of teams that are on this line, 114 they need to hit. You know, Bubak Karma, Fulgy Clement obviously down this game, but yeah, Trulex is the next up-and-comer in that spot. I believe Leader and Irazumi are actually tied with him overall at 6th. And you're wondering, yo, Shy 11, what are you talking about all these numbers? What do they mean? What are you even looking at on your screen? I see 79, I don't see 6. Yeah, what are you talking about? So updates this season. I know a lot of people like to tune in for that last game as well. See that hot action. At the bottom left, it shows exactly what position the team is in. And if you have their teammate up as well, if you have like a drone shot, you can see the number beside their name right now. It says number 9 next to Slovace. 38 for Mr. J and Wolfie. That's their place overall in the competition. By the end of these games, the top 6 will move on towards the finals. So all these teams are trying to get there. I mean, it looks impossible for Mr. J and Wolfie now, but to set the stakes once again, it's not over for them. You can also win and go straight to the final, so that's exactly what they'll have to do. Now to talk about the final number on screen, it's on the right side. That's Storm Surge. If you're too passive, you're just going to be taking 25 damage over and over again in the form of Purple Lightning. And so a lot of teams will be forced into engagements. They can't just walk around the edges of the map. Who likes to watch that? Absolutely no one. Not even Levin. And sometimes he watches the most boring things ever. So, you know, he's told me he doesn't like that either. Every team will be forced to fight and take that damage. And right now, 49 below. I mean, Mr. J and Wolfie just need a few more shots. We're checking in with a couple of the teams. This is very important for Leader and Irazumi on the right side of your screen to get this damage done. 11 above, it's cool. They're right above the line, but you'll notice the whole lobby will be dealing this damage, and that number will change up and down. You kind of want to be in the triple digits, somewhere close to 200 to be comfortable. If not, you're basically sleeping on a bench outside. It's going to be cold. It's going to be worrisome. Will you get the rest? Will you be in trouble overall throughout the night? And that is the question on Leader and Irazumi's mind. 6 below, and that surge is about to start ticking in about 10 seconds.
And you can see these guys have the leg up on Lazen here. But for how much longer? At what point will they notice the double SMG spray will come through? We've seen that play so many times this season. It's so strong. They're able to do a tiny bit of damage, but they won't be satisfied with that. And it might be okay to take this fight isolated, not many teams involved to be able to third party. They got to make sure that they get the angles right, put themselves on the other side of this team, sandwich in them. And you can see the Purple Lightning Shy was talking about coming into the fold.
This is tough.
And they just got to start doing damage. They can't afford to just sit around.
2 shots.
But can they hit the shots? That's the important thing.
1 shot. They need 1 shot. They're going to be going through all their shields because they can't find 1 bullet on any player around them. Move into the zone. Do something. This stalemate makes no sense. That other team is fine on damage. They won't be moving. Just get out of here. You are costing yourself your entire inventory for staying in the spot due to ego, due to something. I'm not sure what, Levin, but they need to find someone else.
The problem is there's just not many places to go. Like you said, the team below them, they know they're struggling with Surge, so they're just going to sit comfortably, hold some walls. And they really should have forced the issue once they had the chance. At this point, like you said, they are just going to be burning through resources. And this is tragic now. Look at this. It really is rough to watch because at this stage, they've got barely any shields, not much health. It's not going to be easy.
7th place overall, too. They're so close to qualifying. They need top 6. They're dropping down to 8th, 11th. They cannot go down here.
If they go down, it will be the end of what's been a grueling session where they had done so well up to this point. And we hit 70 players, right? And 70 players means that Storm Surge will ease down for the moment, but they're still going to be struggling on damage when that next, round of Storm Surge pops. So they got to figure out a way to, 1, get their resources and shields up a bit higher, and 2, do some damage.
Hold on, a bit higher. They went through everything, Levin. They need to restock. They need to move countries and change professions in terms of what they sell at the store because they're all out of shields, man. And look at some of the other replays. It's desperation, drastic actions across the entire map. Mastroki Kylie, very smart from Mastroki to go to this wall. It just becomes a shooting gallery for him and the big 130. The big damage too that they needed, 57 above after all of that. When you go back to that Reese mentioned team, Chulex, Chico, I'm not sure what their damage entirely looked like. Their spot, Levin, very different. It's like we were watching 2 very, very different games. They're right in the center of all the action. Bubak Karma there as well. And although Chulex, they look, very high and mighty, just high rolling through, very comfortable chairs inside their base. For Bubak and Karma, they are literally crawling on the ground, trying to find whatever they can to make it through to the next portion of this game.
I think the one silver lining is that they seem like they will be good on damage in terms of, they've got an elimination. Bubak was dealing a bit of damage just earlier. And so, in terms of their battle for Surge, they should be all right. You'd expect to see them sort of go through. Kiko and Mosh, though, look like they're struggling in the feed. I saw Mosh get knocked earlier, Kiko going down in the feed as well, so that might be the end of the line for the Portuguese players, but the story still continuing for Arizumi. What their path to victory will be is so tough now. Can they stay on the line? Can they keep themselves in the game? A replay here from Shmeki's POV. To see the striker. Oh, stinger. Wow.
They didn't call him a striker, man. I mean, that was a power kick right there in the box. I mean, that's nuts.
SMG shotgun, no difference, man.
What I'm seeing too is a difference in loadouts from a lot of teams. Maybe some that haven't seen a lot of end games, but 12 chug splashes on multiple different people. Shmeki foregoing a little bit of rotation, maybe not having access to the web shooters. He has more room for those shields, but they'll have a lot to work with. I feel like some teams that have this much in their inventory, though, start to overthink things, Levin, and maybe end up tripping up over themselves rather than opponents when they make the end game.
Yeah, and this is where your decisions will have such a large impact on the rest of your game, Shire.
Yeah.
Like where you position yourself, the amount of resources you burn could be key. You can see in the bottom right, Bubak barely above on Surge, just sitting 66 above and having to commit a lot of metal right there, which isn't going to be great, right? That's the kind of resource you want to have later on in the game. And you can see the zone. We're at Tilted Towers, and things are going to start getting crazy very, very soon.
Already getting crazy. Scram fully eliminated. And at this point, I don't see any chances for a reboot. Why is that important? They're basically almost the de facto first place leaders of the lobby so far. They will have enough to qualify, it seems like, off of just being in this game. If the threshold is truly 114. That 129 to start. But Refsguard is left once again to play solos, Levin. Always, it seems like this man has been clutching by himself the whole day.
Refsguard's got all the firepower he needs to be able to get through this one. We've seen some solo clutches already. I presume he won't be able to solo clutch, though. He will go down, and that's huge as well. You saw how high up they were in the standings. Trulex and Chico will be dancing because that's exactly what they needed. They need all these teams around them to go down.
They need 22 points as well to try to be close to that qual threshold. Swilliam down as well, and there is the final confirmation of leader leaving as well. So yes, exactly what Levin said. One opponent not in the wave, but there is a foe they can't actually touch. That Surge striking from them all the way above. Very crucial shot from Chico there to get them right above that line. But at 51 players, it can go any which way. Finally, the threshold turns off, but there is still one instance of Surge still left. That's when these zones start to move as well. Trulex and Chico know they are behind. They not only move, try to win this game, try to be consistent, but also deal damage and maybe change up the game plan they had to start with. And that is very tough to do, especially with the zone. Lots of hills, lots of weird ways you can get stuck at this layer, and they will start to move, maybe even go for this launch pad. That'll be huge. Getting this package will change their destinies entirely, and maybe even cause them to qual. Meanwhile, Bubak and Karma on the other side. Look at their match level, look at their position. It's looking so good right now. They've taken control of this game.
Yeah, Bubak wants to run it back. He was so close last time. He was in touching distance, and this time he'll be hoping Karma can just stay up. And you're right, that launch pad could be the difference maker for Trulex and Chico, and so we'll keep a close eye on how they do. But Shmeki and Tazzy and another team, right, sitting in third, they're looking comfy, right, in terms of 120, and for them, it's all about what they can do to ruin other people's chances of qualifying, right? If these guys are comfy, if these guys know they're going to be able to qualify, they just need to make it more difficult for anybody around them, and the longer they stay in the game, the worse it gets for everybody who wants to be in the top 6 with them.
Bubak and Karma are right beside them currently, and we're going right into Tilted Towers. Buildings in the way. Crazy skyscrapers to just climb. This is going to be absolutely intense for a lot of these low ground teams. If you don't have web shooters, if you don't have a launch pad, you are going to have a very, very tough time. And it's also a very close rotation, though, so players will have mats to use. That's Refsguard finally taken out, but those guys are definitely qualified at 129 once again. We're looking at Bubak right now, though, 11. Second place last game. He never really makes the end games, except for that one. He's at 111th the whole day past that. Needs to defy all odds and make it happen right now.
And he's got the means to do it. The launch pad will come through. They know where they need to go. They're going right to Tilted. Bubak as well has some web shooters available. And in this position here on the front side of the zone, they'll be able to do some damage if they see fit. You can see Bubak opening up that edit, using the SMG, and you'd expect him to hit a couple more shots, but they'll be fine. 140 below, though, for Trulex and Chico. I can't say the same about them. They need to launch and fast.
Jump.
The chug splash will come through. He needs the heals if he's going to survive the zone. And this is where it gets dicey. They need to hope that nobody has eyes on them, because if they take any couple of shots, it could get real bad. They're sitting right in 6th, and they need to make sure nobody's in their box. They've got to stay careful. They've got to stay close. Chico and Trulex will go down in 6th. And it probably won't hold. They're going to be crossing their fingers, hoping it does.
Look at Bubak!
But as you can see, Bubak trying to get up high, trying to regain his position on high. Karma fell down last time. Not again, though. They need to stay up. This is their chance to win it all.
Kings of the city, Tilted Towers, has a new CEO. It's Bubak with Karma rolling in as that chief financial officer of Mats, all the way at the forward part of the build. Look at the beams from Bubak. Lots of teams in front of him, though. He's going to use that Spider-Man gauntlet to get all the way towards the front and deny any chance of a big climb up top. But it's Kane and Cruel. They've been here before. We know they have pads, but they're put in a blender. Back and forth, armored walls will give them a little bit of moments to breathe, but Bubak is still there on the right side with the peak. It's going to be a very tough stare down, and they'll have a chance to end it up once again. Liza and Mirza, they're not done too. Every team here, Levin, might be behind. The win is there. They want to make sure they grasp at it too. Chug Splash has been thrown left and right like bottles breaking glass inside these boxes. It's tough. It's getting a little bit slippery too. All the way up top, players are dropping down low. It's Kali and Fastroki at 98. They're trying to make things go as well.
Yeah, Kali and Fastroki on the low ground. It's going to be hard to find a sense of control here, but they need to stick together, right? It's so crucial that they stay side by side and make sure they stay ahead of the elevation. You can see it moving up the hill, and so they need to stay tightly. They're trying to find anything. You can see low on HP taking a moment, yeah, to take a breath. as the end game continues.
Not a single player has really gone down in the zone. Deox is the first one to fall. Everyone wants to qualify. They want to survive. As a result, we have 24 players left alive inside this 8th zone. Dan is making a move from top. Blue Box in trouble now. Their mats are dwindling low. Naku's going for it too. Kylie down on low ground. Has a right-hand peek with Fast Roki. It's getting crazy. Blue Box inside the storm truck. Splash is dropping left and right. He's not going to have enough to stay alive. Full damage again. It's up to Karma by himself. Does he have the materials to live? A reconnect. 200. But pressure from the back. The beam. It's enough. Another catch. This is nuts from Karma. How is he doing it? He has a little bit of moment to live, but with just 10 mats, he needs to heal him right now.
Brubac did all he could last game, but it's in the hands of Karma now. He has the Spider-Man web shooters to stay up on height just that bit longer, but Nako and Dan will do everything they can to take it from him, and that move comes through just like that. He won't be able to hold it, but will he be able to stay in the game?
Kylie Fast Roki now on the left side. No match. They're going for an all-in. Inside this box, the beams are there, but no! Interruption from the left, and they are denied. Karma now in the mid-ground. Melody down low 2, right at the cusp, 114. It might just be enough, but they need just a little bit extra to keep pushing forward. 5th place for the moment. They're looking at edits on all around their sides on the builds. There aren't many left, but they have a few options of a few boxes right in front of the front. At the time, though, it looks like there's a lot of space for them to actually use. They push back cheating. High ground is still pressuring. They're not sure exactly what's going on above them, but they know they have as much time needed to just survive down low. It's Dan and Naku that have taken over. At 97 points, they'll have to win this game to qualify. They have to wrap it up right here, Levin.
Nako and Dan, they know everything is in their hands. They have complete control, but Cruel has no control. He needs to find anything with that striker pump. He's looking in the backside of the zone. He knows someone's here. He's looking for the shot, but the build comes through. It's not enough. He will go down, and so Mirza stays a foot in this one. He's trying to rain on anybody's parade he can, but Nako and Dan up above. They look so comfy. Even with low materials, they remain the only duo with a chance at really having a fighting say in who will win this game. But now it's time to drop down. They realize it's time to take that engagement. It's gonna be difficult. Mirza, really low HP. He's getting in the way. Melody as well now on low ground. Will try to find any bit. Kefi and Melody versus Nako and Dan. It's up to this.
No mats on the top side. It'll come down to one final push. Armored wall's not up for grabs. Destiny's in the air, but only one team can grab it. Naku about to reach out his hand. Denied by a few builds on the left side. They're unsure on where to go. It might just be straight down. The edits are there too. It could go any which way. Naku and Dan have to land this shot or they will not qualify for the finals today. There it is. It's a drop down. Reversal. Dan's there. Where's the last player? Siphon comes in. It's going to be them actually maybe even taking over high ground. No. Melody's running way away. Does he have the time to go for the heal game? Med missed his popping. Dan still has crucial seconds, but takes some free damage. He's running 30, 25, 20, 15, down to nothing on the mist. What is he looking for? Is he going for the all-in? Is it possible? Dan's in the lead. Melody down to 1 HP, and it will be Dan. That qualifies. A misstep of calculation. Dan's huge retake is enough to give his team a ticket to the finals.
The med misplay wasn't enough for Melody. He thought he had it in the bag, but he ran out, and Dan did enough to stay in this game.
Might be a possibility for that 6th place to come in for Melody overall. He will still be there. Dan was also top 6. He got that window overall. That was huge in game number 5. Dan and Naku, what a performance from them to get that victory royale and sign off all the way towards the top.
And like you said, the last game winner had a spot in the top 6, so that spot will be going to someone else. And if you want to find out who that will be, we're going to have to kick it to the desk. Zeke, Reese, Sundown, please, what happened? Who's qualified?
Don't you even worry, Levin. We got you guys covered. Also, shout out to you both. Levin, Shawage, you guys were fantastic today. Thank you for casting those 5 games. It was super awesome. High energy. And again, we're going to come back tomorrow for another 6. I'm looking forward to it. But we got to take a look at who did qualify. Dan, Naku, and I'm so sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I don't do words well, but they were in 6th place going into this game. Now with the Victory Royale, that means they're removed from that top 6, and now someone else is looking to occupy that spot. We'll get there in just a second, but first we gotta talk about this game. My goodness, Sundown, this is what I live for, right? These are the nail biters that always happen in the final game of the competition. It always happens this way. This is why I'm a broken record about it. But Fortnite, it's never done until that last game.
Yeah, and you can see there, particularly towards the end, the two duos who were fighting it out were inside that top 6, and whether or not they had that information, they were still holding on and wanting to get the victory royale, while every other player needed the victory royale to end up going through. But the question is, with 2 of our top 6 ending up fighting out for the victory royale, and 1 taking it, that leaves that last spot up for grabs, and it's going to pull up that final qualifying score just that much lower, actually, in that circumstance, as we get some of the highlights here from Karma and Booba as well. Had an amazing game last game, and they will end up finishing in that qualifying range.
Not just last game, both games, right? We saw Bubak in the previous game hitting those shots, hitting, quite frankly, incredible shots to clutch them up into that deep into the end game. Again, this time we saw Bubak go down to the fall damage, unfortunately, after kind of picking up this first elimination here, leaving Karma as a slow. And this is a qualifying run that we're watching right here from both of these players, pushing them up into the top 6. And unfortunately, this is the moment for them, unfortunately, let's say, where Neko and Dan were able to take that high ground from them, or take the, well, start the high ground retake, we'll just say, as knocking down Bubak there, leaving Karma left as a solo, inevitably winning Neko and Dan the match.
I know, man. It comes down again to the wire, right? Those final moments. In every game, these things unfold, right? And it's being able as a duo to identify that chaos and look past that and find that moment of calm and say, that is our avenue. That is how we make it to the win. And for Dan and Naku, they do that, right? It's so incredible. Another qualifying team who does make it on through in that top 6. Remember, it's been an all-out battle, okay, today going on. It's whoever gets the victory after 5 games moves on. Your top 6 at the end will move on. Mirza, Lizen, and again, I'm so sorry if I'm saying your names wrong, but look at this, the run that they needed, right? They were, if you look at that bottom left, from 7 to 5, it just ticked over. So now the question becomes, Sundown, when we do jump on over, will they have qualified? Because remember now, even now, look, back up to top 5. That's how close it comes down to.
Yeah, and particularly here, Mirza able to pick up the 6 eliminations, run it out a little bit, hit the shot there right at the end, push them over. I mean, every single one of those elims is plus an additional 3 points, and the fact that he's able to really run it out and make that big of a difference. I mean, that was 27 points on eliminations alone, and they were able to just kind of sneak their way right into one of those final spots.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of poetic because for this team, like in that first qualifier, man, off spawn was absolutely rough for them. They managed to turn it around and make sure they've called through. Here, though, are the 5 game winners that we've seen. Not the top 6 in the leaderboard yet, but this is the first half of the teams that qualified. Game number 1, Frax, obviously alongside Coop, Milad and Wooks in 2, Aqua and Noah really. No surprise to anyone at all in game number 3. 4 went to Blue Sea and Hydro. And then game number 5, Nako and Dan. A first-time FNCS Finals performance for both of the 2 players, the both Spanish team actually all the way through. And this is what it's going to be. Top 6 qualify. So Karma and Bubak, with that last game, clutched up to push themselves through. So did Lazen and Mirza with that beautiful right-hand peek from the tree side that we saw. Finally, Refsguard and Scram in 4th have managed to make it as well with 131 points. That last game not being too good for them, but doesn't even matter at this point. Not at all. Same with Kefi and Melody, Kiko and Mosh, and our winners, Tazian and Shmeki, who've been causing a lot of havoc throughout the entire FNCS in Camp Cuddle. Now, it seems like they're going to be there in finals as well.
And you know Karma and Booba.
Jump in.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Zeke.
I was going to say, I just want to jump in super quick.
Go.
Remember that last elimination, the last duel we talked about? That was against Cruel, Sundown. So literally, if Cruel had picked up that elim, they very well could have made the run for that top 6 spot.
Yeah, it's huge. It would have ended up being tough, but the bigger thing is that if you're Karma and Booba, you are so happy a team who is in that top 6 won the final game, because otherwise push all of those leaderboards down just one more shift, and you're looking at a tiebreak there of 2 eliminations where Mirza and Lazen, with their final eliminations in that game, we saw that they were able to run out 9. They only had 10 before that, so that would have been an absurd run. Luckily for them, they'll both end up going through, and I think given the performances today, very deserving.
Oh man, it's so good, Reese. It's so good. And look, even my boys, Refsguard and Scram, we did it. We did it. I'm 2 for 2. I started qualifier 1 and 2, 0. But now my predictions 2 days in a row, guys. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Let's hop on over to that second page, though. Reese, we have to remember as well, right? The 11 duos that do qualify today, they're not removed from the pool. And then we're going to backfill tomorrow with the next 11 from the series point leaderboard. Looking at this page, do we feel like members from this page could be in that top 6? Do we think even members from like tomorrow's games, they're just waiting, right? They're just like, oh my gosh, I've We've VOD reviewed. We've watched every game. We know what our plan is. We're ready to go.
I mean, I hope so. Let's be real. They've been waiting 2 days.
Better.
They don't have the same amount of opportunities as the teams had in that first session or the ones we've just seen today in the second session. So those kind of new 11 teams that are coming through tomorrow that we're going to see, I hope they've watched. I hope they've voted. I hope they figured out the strats. I hope they figured out, in particular, a drop spot that's going to be free. Because now, right, you know, you're going to notice every single team that's left has left an opening somewhere for tomorrow. So between now and then is the time to perfect that off spawn, figure out where you're going, hopefully not be contested by someone, and pick it up. Because like you said, those teams on the second page, guys like Floki Command, I was rooting for all day, unfortunately just weren't able to pop off now 2 days in a row.
It's tough, Sundown, but it's okay, right? Tomorrow is a brand new day. That's what you said at the start of the show. It's a new day, and it will be for them tomorrow. I mean, if you're one of these duos that just hasn't been able to put the pieces together, how do you just reset the mind and come back stronger tomorrow?
Well, you know that 11 more teams are out of that pool. You've been playing from the very beginning or had an opportunity to kind of dip your feet in today, but this is your last opportunity. It's a back against the wall, and if you're not going to rise up right now, then you don't get a chance to play in those finals where in EU, everyone knows that's kind of the pinnacle of the competition and where all the money, the clout, all the followers, whatever other thing you want there, that's where it's up for grabs. And you can bet every single one of these duos should be putting in the time, and they probably are.
Words of wisdom from Sundown. Let's very quickly take a look at our predictions and just remind everybody how we all did. You know, I mean, you know, guys, again, I'm 2 for 2. I'm gonna get literally every prediction wrong.
There's a first time for everything, you know.
Broken clock.
Well, you know, a broken clock. There it is.
Yeah,
I was trying to beat you to it, Sundown. Wings and Force, Sundown could not make it on through today, but high expectations for tomorrow.
Maybe not after their performance today. Definitely going to be one of those ones who looks to reset and call it another one. Definitely struggled to make it there together.
Yeah, I went for Floki Command, low-hanging fruit, realistically, but it just wasn't for them today. I think, you know, I'm forever hopeful. I'm going to go with them again tomorrow. Maybe I won't. We'll see when I actually see the full player list tomorrow who I'm going to predict. Unfortunate for me. But again, look, Levin's absolutely nailed it with Noah Rayleigh and Aqua. Shywager also with Stroking Kylie, who managed to go through just right now. Oh, no, just missed out. Unfortunately, it was not the case, so...
Yep.
But,
Once
you know,
again, man, and it came down to a tiebreaker. So you can already like tell and feel how close this competition is, right? And just again, reminder, we're not even in finals. Finals is next week, and it's already close right now. How much closer will it be then? Fortnite fam, we just want to thank you so much for joining with us, hanging out with us, watching these games, losing your minds. It's so absolutely incredible. If you're new here and you just checked out Fortnite for the first time and you like what you see, don't forget we also have 2 other regions going on today, NA East and NA West. Different crew, different subset of players, and of course another set of spots to qualify for. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. So until then, we'll see you guys on the battle bus.
I beep first.